Hey YouTube, here with a deck profile for my Dragon Ruler deck. I had this deck for a while. I just never did a video of it, as well as an old school throwback deck. So you can see it's not the best one, especially for nowadays format. But if you do more casual, traditional play, then this is the deck I like to run. I also, just so you know, the extra deck isn't fully there. Just to let you know about that. But this is my Dragon Ruler deck that I created. So to start off, we have 3 of each Dragon Ruler. As you can tell, this is going into the Forbidden. So like I said, you can do traditional, depends on who you play with. You can do whatever you like, but I have all 3 of the all 4 of the Dragon Rulers. So I play them at 3 of each just because they're good search power for each other, good moving. And also they got, you can discard itself and another one of its types. So it depends on which ones you have in hand, you can actually activate their abilities. So with each of the 4 Dragon Rulers, we also have their baby counterparts. So we have each of the adults and each of the baby Dragon Rulers themselves. We have 2 of the babies and 3 of each adult. Kind of helps run the deck, moving and a lot of fodder. They're all dragons, so they actually help a lot. Gotta be careful with some decks you play against because they can actually stop a dragon deck, especially my Buster Blade deck that I have, and my friend actually runs a small Buster Blade engine in his Blue Eyes deck, and so that deck can actually stop this deck like that. Just all depends on what you can make. Also to help with the monster lineup, we have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, an Eclipse Wyvern, and a Flamvell Guard. These are the rest of the dragons. Red Eyes Darkness Metal, so you can revive any dragon monster you want, and as you can see, you have a lot of options to go into. Eclipse Wyvern, just in case you need to get this card in the graveyard, you can banish Red Eyes Darkness from banish him from your deck, and then once he's banished, and which can be banished off of each of the Dragon Rulers, you can add Red Eyes Darkness Metal to hand. So if you don't get him in like very few opening turns, you can dump him into grave to get him banished, and then once he's banished, you can actually get him back to hand, and then use that to also banish another Dragon Ruler if you have him on field or anything else you're able to normal summon. You don't normal summon a lot in this deck, but you also have at least some good cards in. I'm trying to think in because I haven't actually gone to the level 4s because these 2 are level 3. No, the baby of the wind and the fire level 3, the water and the earth are both level 4. So you can actually go into some other XEs for smaller plays for that, but it's all depending on you. You also have Flamvell Guard for a tuner, and then I also run 2 effect railers to help negate some monster effects on field. And also they're both level 1 tuners, so you can actually use them to go into your synchro plays. That's all for the monsters. Pretty good monster lineup. And then the rest is all spells. So we have, first for the spells, 3 Super Rejuve. You do a lot of discarding in this deck, and so anytime you tribute or discard dragon type monsters, Super Rejuve allows you to, at the end phase, to draw a number equal to those. And so with the Dragon Rulers, you can actually discard a lot, especially with the baby rulers. Let me grab a baby. So with the baby ruler, you can discard this card, and usually it says another dragon type or even its attribute counterpart, but to special summon one of its adult rulers. So you can use the babies a lot. Each one of the babies has that ability to discard it and another dragon. So each one of these babies can be utilized with any one of themselves, or utilized with any of the other adult rulers or any dragon type monster to discard and then to get a dragon ruler on the field. And this card helps you to just help you regain your hand that you lost, which is really cool, especially with the cool plays. You have card destruction, that if you have a lot of dragon type monsters in your hand, not good plays, or if you just want to get the discard, you can use card destruction in order to discard your entire hand, and for every dragon that was in your hand, Super Rejuve will help regain that amount of cards that were sent, and basically just replenish your hand, which is a really cool combo, especially you can activate 2 of these at the end turn. So let's say you use Lightning, Dragon Ruler, Drafts, and Burner. Let's say you use these 2, you use Burner's effect to get a Blaster on the field, and then depends on whatever type of other play you want to do. But with these 2 being discarded, you can have any type of hand, and let's say your hand just wasn't good or you just needed something, you can discard the hand, And what that would do, let's say if I even had 2 blasters in hand, if I wanted to, I can discard using card destruction to gain 2 new cards. So that would have been 4 cards been discarded, and I can activate 1 Super Reju. But if I draw into another one, I can activate the next one to actually draw into 4 more. Now, granted, it's the end phase, and so you can't have more than 6 cards in your hand, but it's fine. Especially if you have a small amount, you only want to activate 1. It's up to you, however you want to do it. You can save the card for these for your hand, or activate them for later. Up to you what you want to do. But cool combos and pretty cool, like at least hand replenish. You also have Sacred Sword of 7 stars, allows you to banish a level 7 from hand or face up. So especially if you activate the baby rulers, like any one of these 2 baby rulers. Let's say you activate Steam and discard these 2 to special summon Tidal from hand. Now Steam's ability tells you, in all of them, saying that it cannot attack this turn. So any of the adult rulers that get special summoned from the babies, it cannot attack the turn. But if you need to draw some more and get some other place, you can activate Sacred Sword of 7 stars, banish Tidal, and actually be able to draw 2 new cards. And when he's banished, you can actually draw, add another water, sorry, what was that? Yeah, when this card is banished, you can add 1 water dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. And so when he's banished, because of Sacred Sword of 7 stars, you can add another Tidal to hand, and then actually draw 2. So what you really just did, in total, was that you activated this to discard 2 to get him on field. So you really just neg 1 there. Activate this to banish him. You activate add another card in hand and draw 2. So really, you're not really going to negatives right there. Like really, you're getting 3 cards off of 4 cards. But if you have a Super Reju, then bam, you can activate it, add another card, get some more replenished cards into hand to account for all those that were activated. And this deck actually does go through your deck quite easily. Within 5 turns, I think you can get through your entire deck. It really depends on how quick you're trying to play the deck. Up to you how you want to do. And again, each of the Dragon Rulers actually has the ability that if you banish it, this card, then you can add 1 of its types. So fire, Blaster for fire, Tidal for water, Redox for earth. So I'm trying to find Redox. Yeah, just each of them, you can add like Redox for earth, as well as Tempest for wind. So you can add each of them back to hand and still be able to keep going. So that's when they're banished. And so to help with the banishment, I have 2 Gold Sarks as well, just in case if I didn't get the Sacred Sword. So it helps me to banish each of my Dragon Rulers. And especially with Gold Sark, you banish a ruler, get the same ruler back from deck. And then it helps you go to the deck a little bit. But also main thing is, if you activate this card, because sometimes you might go into a couple turns, make sure you keep track of what card you're actually banishing, because sometimes I forget. 2 turns later, I'm adding a card back. I'm like, oh, what card did I actually banish? So make sure you pay attention to what card did you banish off of Ghost Sark, because you can actually add it back to hand after 2 turns if you haven't won or lost in some cases, which is pretty cool. So because of all the banishment, because you can banish your entire like monsters really quick, I have 2 burial from a different dimension. I might bump this up to 3, actually have a 3rd one. But for now, I only run 2, just because it helps you put the cards back into grave, and then you can actually go off of them again to banish them and to keep going off your plays. I'm thinking I might add the return from a different dimension, so it actually brings them to field rather than to grave, because sometimes I want them actually on field. But I don't have any of those at the moment. So, and also this is a quick play, so I can actually activate on my turn if I really need to play. And to help with this, because it's still forbidden, I was just wanting to go into more. So 2 Product Greeds to help extra draw. I think I'm actually take these out just because I draw so much from the deck that I'm not sure if I really need these 2. But for now, I have 1 of. I also have a Heavy Storm, because anytime my opponent has set spells and traps, bam, pop them, and then I can actually go for the OTK. Monster Reborn, just in case I need to reborn any monster that gets destroyed, especially with my extra deck monsters. I can bring some of them back, or bring back a Dragon Ruler in case I needed to make some plays, as well as 1 by Geki to finish off these spell lineup. Again, that's the spells and monsters and spells. No traps in this deck, but hey, you want to give me a pointer for adding more traps, just let me know. Again, this is an older deck, so really no link cards, and I also don't have a full deck, extra deck. So I have one Stardust Spark Dragon. I also have a Stardust Dragon, but it's just in a different deck right at the moment. One Scrap Dragon, pretty useful card, and pretty powerful card as well. One Crimson Blade, like I said, it was an old school deck. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, pretty fun card to use, especially with the Dragon Rulers, because they can get destroyed and then you can still destroy your opponent's cards, like they have them, but also just do some burn damage to your opponent. Those are all the Synchro cards I have. Now for the XZs, I run one Galaxy Tomahawk, and I actually found out how Galaxy Tomahawk can actually be used in Link plays. So I actually found some Link cards I can actually use for the deck. So I might actually try to see how these work. I ran two number 11 Big Eyes because my opponent can easily, because you saw there's no much protection for the Dragon Rulers, so, or any of the cards. So they get run over or destroyed. I need a way to bring them back, because the deck can easily summon two of these. Like each Dragon Ruler can easily get summoned each turn. All four of them can get summoned each turn, depending on what you draw and how you usually plays. So I can make each of these XZs like quite easily. So I ran two. If I really want to, I could run three, especially if I go to traditional format, just so I can steal my opponent's cards. But nowadays with Link format, I don't think, at least my build, not good for it. I ran one Master Blades, just another cool card, just a little stronger. And that this card is targeted face up, and then I can detach one material and negate the activation and destroy the card. Then destroy one card in the field. So it helps destruction wise. It's pretty cool. Then last, to round out, two Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons. Just it's the actual strongest card on for all the dragons except for Scarlight. It's the actual second biggest, as well as the effect to every time your opponent activates cards, you can kind of burn them. So I can kind of do like a little burn thing here. That's what it's kind of useful for. It's pretty cool. So yeah, those are all the extra deck monsters, as well as the main monsters themselves. Just to get the Dragon Rulers back here, just to actually do one of each. So each of the four Dragon Rulers, and again I said I run three in this deck, which is pretty cool. So some Link shenanigans I could do, and I was maybe thinking about trying. I actually just got a second Grinding Golem. If I can get a third, even better with some of the Link decks. But if not, totally fine. So I can actually, I was thinking about maybe using these because Eclipse Wyvern, if I'm correct, can actually banish any level 7 or 8 monster. Yeah, banish one level 7 or 8. Actually, light or dark dragon type. So I thought it said any level 7 or 8. But that's fine because I can still use Grinding Golems for other shenanigans. Blue Eyes, here we come. But yeah, I was maybe seeing if I can run these in this deck, because if I can, pop it on field, defense, get the tokens. It's got really weak defense, and so going through my whole League shenanigans to actually get them on field. Or even if I want to, if I can make Big Eye, at one point I can actually have them face-up attack, bring them back, bam, actually have them on my field, so I actually didn't lose, and so that could be cool. Depends on what plays I can make. So for the Link monsters, this is mostly all the Link monsters I have, especially the generics. 2 Link Spiders for Galaxy Tomahawk's tokens, 1 Proxy Dragon, and 1 Decode. Everyone's standard build. But I actually got a Firewall Dragon, so I was maybe thinking about adding this. These 5 Link monsters to kind of round out the extra deck if I really want to try this in Links. Be pretty cool. I haven't tried it out yet, but I was thinking about maybe trying these. I also have an Akashic Magician, Trigate Wizard, Gaia Save the Lightning Shadow, as well as a Topologic Bomber Dragon. I don't have any Link Kuriboh, as well as there's no Security Dragon in the TCG at the moment. So I can't really go into all the Link shenanigans, but at least with this build, I can actually get some Link material on field and go to some interesting plays. Like I said, I haven't tried out any of the Link stuff yet, but I figured it'd be pretty cool and interesting to try out. But I'm really glad to at least have Topologic Bomb Dragon, because I can actually get every Dragon Ruler adult on field. And let's say I go for a game, I can actually use some cards. Depends on how my field's set up, I can actually utilize them to attack. And then if I'm able to get a Topologic Bomb Dragon on field to destroy opponent's monster, then I can inflict damage equal to that monster's attack. So I can do some Void Burn damage. And again, if I have Topologic Bomber Dragon, I think Scarlight, as well as a Red Eyes Flare Metal. All those 3, as well with their powers, depends on when I bring them back and how I can get them on field. They can actually be pretty cool. So these 2 would actually need these special, have it on field first, because Topologic Bomber Dragon will destroy all monsters in the main monster zone. So these two will actually be destroyed if they're special summoned to the zone he's linked to. But they can be on field before him, then bam, we can actually have some pretty good burn damage going on there. All right, well, I hope you liked this deck profile. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Keep an eye out for any of my updated trade binders. And I'll catch you later. Peace.